get a chance to look at the new Fed applications yet?
I only saw one. Then read the first one, which I think was the Kapu idiot.
Yeah, there's him, and there's some guy who's got a relative of The Undertaker.
Yeah, we already told him. Just gotta change that. Still hasn't even put up an art. Gonna start now. Let me hit the record button. Video should start playing. Let me see if it plays right. Ah, too loud. Too fucking loud. Damn it, too loud. There. Alright, let's record now.
Just who and what I am. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. Just treat me for who and what I am. Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. So much more. So much more. So much more. So much more than that.
Alrighty. So after a billion technical difficulties, we're here. I believe we're live. It is the Attack on Wrestling show, and this is AB Morales alongside Dagger Dias from the WrestleZone forums. Can't even talk straight at this point. You there, Dagger?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yep. Yep, you're there. Better not lose you. That's the last thing I need.
I'm here.
Yes, what a rigmarole. Just trying to start this thing. Jesus. There's always a problem on the Attack on Wrestling show. Anyway, we are here to chat about WrestleMania weekend with Dagger. We got all sorts of news. If you're watching the live stream or the video, you can see I have a ticker now. Running down most of the news. Isn't that cool? I don't know, I can't see it.
I can't either.
Yep, that's how we work here. Cheap. Anyway, like we saw at the start of the video, China, who passed away this last Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, we're dedicating the show in her memory, but before we get to her, let's talk about WrestleMania weekend, because that was quite a while ago. And Dagger's got a lot of stories to tell from that show. So, Dagger, you drove there, right? Because you live already in Texas.
Yeah, I went up there with one of the guys from the church. And, he drove, I paid for the gas, and we actually ended up staying at the apartment of a guy who's friends with him, so we didn't have to spend all sorts of money on which was nice.
Sweet. How long was the trip, though?
Not too bad. I think it was about 2 hours or so.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm in Central Texas, so most things are official for me.
I mean, I keep hearing Texas is a really large place, so I gotta imagine.
It's massive.
At least with California, it's just really, really, really tall.
Yeah, you guys are massive in the vertical.
Imagine driving from San Francisco down here and then getting on a plane for 8 hours. So I had to do that at one point.
Doesn't sound very fun.
Oh, not at all. But anyway,
Especially for me, I'm not really much of a traveler.
Oh.
This was one of the very few things to take in this whole trip.
I absolutely hate travel, and then worse when I'm in a plane on coach. I'm 6 feet. I'm a pretty big guy. I need some space. But before we get,
It's not really a space.
it could be a,
I've always been an indoors kind of person. I just enjoy immersing myself in media, kicking back, listening to music, back or to church and back to hang out with friends. Generally, if it's a hangout, one of my friends will drive. Yeah, I only drive if I have to.
well. Anyway, you said it took you 2 hours to WrestleMania. You had your place to stay. When exactly did you get there, though?
Listen, we ordered some. Been to WrestleMania before. I've been to SummerSlam before, but never the size of the arena because I went to really huge stadiums for the versus 70,000 or whatever it was at the other WrestleMania I went to versus the 100,000 from this WrestleMania. Nice sized crowd. Everyone's having a great time. Different feel entirely. It was in a very good way.
That's good. That's good. You said you went to SummerSlam. Which one did you go to?
2010. One with
2010.
Nexus versus Team WWE.
I'm trying to recall that one. Oh yeah. I remember that.
A lot of people give that show a hard time. It was pretty fun. This was huge at the time. I've always been a big Cena fan. Got to see Daniel Bryan's return.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
It was really fun.
Can imagine. Live shows are a hell of a lot more fun than television. Which kind of sucks for me because I very rarely get to go to a show. But you said you got there on Friday, so you were literally right there for TakeOver. You said the show was great. I don't know, what do you think of the matches from your point of view? You said you watched them both on the network and live. You attended it.
Yes, I did. I attended it live and then watched it. I can't remember when it was. It was within a few days after that. I watched it again on the network because I post my analysis on the events and the WrestleZone forums. I didn't want to be too biased in favor of my live experience. I wanted to talk a little bit about both sides,
You compared the
which was my least favorite match.
yeah.
I wanted to go to Access, but I had a bit of a financial issue because I didn't get my tax.
Moving on to WrestleMania itself, though, how was that? Because of course it's like 100,000 almost people in there, so it had to be packed, obviously.
Oh yeah. I could see the rain pretty well. I had an awesome view of the stage. It was totally worth the money. I'd spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on those tickets.
Jeez, I can only imagine the kind of money for that.
Never again.
Okay, so you got there early. I assume you didn't have the same problems other people did getting into the building.
There were problems, but it wasn't really as bad as it could have been. The line was ridiculous. That's for obvious reasons. There were 100,000 people there. Yeah. Organizing 100,000 people into the same place, those guys, no matter how you try to go.
Yeah, and allegedly there were electric issues.
You're supposed to open the doors after 3:30 hit. He kept trying.
You didn't miss the Ryback Kalisto match, did you?
I missed the very beginning of it because I was in line getting some water. I'm not particularly disappointed in that. And that match was what it was. Kalisto got his win and didn't have to endure Ryback for particularly very long.
Yeah, I'm not even sure why they even turned him heel and started pushing him. I mean, he's completely vanished. I'm guessing it's because he opened his mouth, because that tends to be what gets him in trouble.
He sucks, plain and simple.
Well.
He belongs on the pre-show, but the U.S. Championship doesn't.
There you go. He doesn't think the same, but want me to have a better stream. Go click my ads or something. Help me out. Jeez. Anyway, where was I? WrestleMania. What'd you think of the overall show? Like the matches and all that?
It was a very good show. It was extremely fun to go to. The high points were the return of Cena and all the special appearances were the women.
Exhausted or ready to go home or something?
Yeah, I started to feel it during the main event. I was having a good time. I was gonna be happy with pretty much either outcome because I like Triple H, I like Roman Reigns, but I was spent.
I can imagine. Like at least from my point of view.
Both of those should have cut.
And The Rock playing with a flamethrower.
Yeah, that was fun.
I don't know, because at least when he was playing with this dumb flamethrower, like I was just annoyed. Just get to the ring, do whatever you're gonna do, so we can move on. So I'm tired. My legs hurt. I want to walk.
I must have been just caught up in the moment, I guess, because I've never seen a Rock person.
Oh yeah, that I can totally understand. But from TV, oh my god, the show felt like it just dragged eternally. I don't know what came over them that made them decide that it would be a good idea to have a 7-hour dragged. Hell in a Cell dragged. Oh man, half an hour. Did you have a good point of view for that?
Yes, actually. When he was jumping, it was towards where I was sitting.
Sweet. Well, WrestleMania. It happened, I guess. Next year, who knows? Hopefully it'll be better.
Match-wise, it probably will be. Who knows? Because anything can happen here.
Yeah, and hopefully I can go. I'd love to go to Orlando and go watch that show.
Have you been to a WrestleMania yet?
Never. The biggest show I've been to has been a live event. That's it.
Make that one. It's like a, for lack of saying cheesy, it's like a rite of passage. Everyone should at least have attended a pay-per-view of some capacity.
Oh yeah, you have no idea how annoying it is to have SummerSlam be here for like 2 years or 3 years straight, and then Raw in Anaheim.
More like 7.
Yeah, but I moved here like 3 years ago. But Raw in Anaheim all the time. Every time I try to go, I'm working late. There was that year that Bound for Glory was in San Diego, which I would love to go. Haven't been able to go. It was the tail end. It was AJ Styles versus Bully Ray in the main event, so it was the last good pay-per-view they ever had. Yeah. And now to remember, it wasn't even that good of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's right around when I was phasing out.
Well, speaking of phasing out, how about we talk about TNA itself right now? Because it seems they're about to go up for sale.
Well, that could actually be what someone says.
Yeah, that's because right now the front runners already work for them. Which I'm ignoring the whole Nazi jokes, but when you think about it, not the Nazi part, but the fact that they already work for the company.
It's not going to change.
Yeah, that's not very reassuring as far as buying it. Like,
C. Carter needs to go.
oh yeah, definitely. Because the thing I'm hearing is right now, I've been writing about it on my page. Basically, she wants to sell only 49% of the company, which is really dumb when you think about it, because you're basically just footing the bill for this company and getting nothing in return for it. That is very dumb business. No one is going to buy the 49%. They're probably going to want 51 at the very least.
Yeah, so that she won't be in power anymore. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Clearly, I mean, yeah, getting rid of her and I don't know what's this guy's name, John Gabrick, who was Kevin Dunn's assistant. He didn't even know creative writing, and TNA decided to put him there. I believe Christy Hemme, who was on the creative team, has left the company again, too.
She'll show up in NXT.
As an announcer, hopefully. I don't want to see her wrestle. But yeah, TNA is in such bad shape right now. They have Al Snow on the frickin' show. Wrestling. Now, I don't know what pipe Dave Meltzer has been smoking, who says the show's been great lately. But, you know, being someone that's watched the show for so long, I don't see it. I don't see what he's seeing at all. It's just not good.
Good, then I haven't been missing anything. You and I have had discussions about it before. My fandom is gone. I gave up on them as a brand 2 years ago. I'm not going to say never. Never say never. I don't see myself watching them. It's not fun to watch, and it makes no sense as the continuity of their quote-unquote storylines. It's just, I don't enjoy the product.
Well, right now, continuity isn't really an issue. It's just who they're focusing on. Because you have...
I will admit, I came very close to coming back when I heard about Drew McIntyre. Because I was a huge fan of his.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, but then when you watch the program, the Hardys are the main event. It's like, they were the main event this week in this I Quit match they've been insisting on having, and it ended in a no contest.
I just don't want to put up with the idiocy. That's kind of what happened the last time I came back. Because I did it on the clocks. I came back for Bobby Lashley. Huge fan of his. Wanted to see what that was. Wanted to see what Women's World Champion was like. But I started watching a couple of weeks and I'm like, this still sucks. Not even Lashley's worth this.
Gee. And it's kind of hilarious too, because they were having this I Quit match, and the ending of the match is Jeff Hardy, as usual, going through a table. The thing about this table, I don't think anybody noticed, was that it was the completely abandoned Spanish announce table. Because their Spanish announce team is gone.
Did the table get destroyed?
Of course, went through it.
There you go. TNA did something right.
But it's just hilarious. I'm watching this. They're fighting there. I'm like, this area looks very familiar. And yes, this is where Hector Guerrero and my pal Willie Urbina used to work before they left. And now Jeff Hardy slammed his ass through it. But anyway, that is TNA. We'll see if this Arielux company buys it, whatever it's called. Nazi Harris Brothers.
Maybe they'll buy it. They'll get rid of Dixie Carter and her team. They'll go on a channel people have actually heard of. They'll bring back TNA's pay-per-views and book storylines that make sense. Once all that happens,
don't hold your breath. That's all I'm saying.
Then I'll rely on posts and KD reviews and I'll stay in the loop that way.
He likes it more than me, surprisingly enough. But let's go to a somber note real quick here. Let's talk about, China, who passed away this week. Dagger, do you have any memories of China growing up?
Really, the only memories I have left, because I haven't been watching that content all that much on the network. I recall when she was with DX, and I just didn't like her. She was just a big, boring chick who hung out with DX. As I've seen this show, I'm sad that she as a person is passed away. I hated her as a wrestler. I just could not stand her. There's nothing she did that Beth Phoenix could have done better. Rest in peace.
You know, one of the things that was really good about her, at least at the very, very beginning, was when she was managing Triple H. Basically, the gimmick was she would ragdoll the men and the women, and the men could do anything because she was a girl or a woman. And, it still wasn't exactly Attitude Era, do crazy stuff to the women and all that kind of edgy stuff. So the men just had to suck it up and do nothing about it. And, in that sense, it was really unique, and it was something refreshing, at least for that time. As you don't really see bodybuilder women in wrestling at all. But, yeah, China, in a sense, got lucky in that she was Triple H's partner for all those years, and Triple H decided to politic for her. But also at the same time, she managed to excel in whatever she was given. And she probably wasn't the best wrestler. She probably wasn't the best suited for her role and all that, but she made an impact. And I think that's worth recognizing at least. It's kind of a pity, though, because she grew, her star grew, and then she got swept under the rug and all that. And she wasn't able to handle it, sadly. That's kind of the heartbreaking reality of being a celebrity. We see it all the time. It's very, very rare that we see someone bounce back from it.
We're all human beings when it comes down to it. We all make mistakes. Sometimes spiral, and get back out.
Yeah, so, well, at the end of the day, rest in peace, Chyna. You left us with good moments and all that. The Good Housekeeping match will always be there on the network. That was a fun match.
She did blaze the trail a bit for others, like some karma later on, so I give her credit for that.
Yeah. And Nia Jax. Can't forget her.
Yeah, but she sucks.
You saw NXT, right? You saw her this week?
Yeah, that match got that sorted.
Oh, man. It wasn't even that long.
My friend who watched the shows on the nights when he can't make it because of class, or I can't make it because he has to watch it separately, we'll text each other and be like, yeah, so Nia Jax gets skipped.
It was a quick squash, but, it's developmental at the end of the day. That's all I can say. So hopefully 2 years we'll come back and hopefully say, oh, she's improved a lot. I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, that could very well happen. Just look at the vast improvement that Charlotte made and Sasha Banks made.
Charlotte, Sasha, and probably Enzo. Enzo has to be the biggest case of improvement out there. People don't remember, but Enzo would literally just stand in the apron and do nothing. So yeah, those guys are moving up. Real quick, did you catch the debut of No Way Jose?
Yeah. I didn't really know what to make of him. He seems like he could be a funny character, but I don't really know anything about this guy outside of that match. So I'm just gonna give him a chance and we'll see what goes on.
I'll say this as a Latino, and being someone who knows plenty of Dominicans, this dude is playing it straight on. Like he is on point with this character, and it is, at least for me, it was so much fun to watch. I'll say this though, the theme song does not fit him at all.
It is a very silly song.
Yeah, like it doesn't fit the genre that he's dancing to. First of all, like at all. So it's dance music, like techno music. And
The beat, the melody, even that capacity, it's a weird song.
If anything.
What the heck is that?
If anything, it's catchy. Because people right away were singing it.
This is true. I do tend to like catchy stuff.
So at the very least, it's got that going for it. But it actually doesn't fit his dancing one bit. And I died laughing with Corey Graves just flat out just asked, who is this Jose and why is he constantly denied? That had me rolling on the floor. Yes.
That's a whole other can.
It would be so awesome if you could just have Corey Graves and Mauro Ranallo. That would be the perfect team for WWE. Just those two. Just Jerry Lawler is horrible. Byron Saxton is just paint on the wall.
Well, Lawler is a little bit more tolerable now that he's being heelish again. But yeah, I think he needs to retire.
The biggest problem I have with Lawler is when he's mocking Morrow for literally doing his job. Which
Morrow is the best.
Oh, definitely, because he actually focuses.
Take that guy and give him Michael Cole stuff. He needs to be there.
Yeah, and at the same time, get rid of Vince McMahon in the back. Like, somebody mute his mic. So I'm pretty sure if they put Morrow on Raw, he's going to be yelling at him all the time.
Get rid of Vince entirely.
No, that's another one.
Triple H and Shane and Stephanie right. Let them take over completely.
I don't hear good things about Shane as far as creative goes, though, so may want to just leave Stephanie there.
I'd be fine with that, too.
Yeah, but
I know she's not exactly popular with some of our peers on WrestleZone. I think she's done an excellent job. She should be perfect for running the show at some point.
Well, most of her job is PR anyway, so she's definitely done a lot for the company, at least for make money and all that. Even though it comes off really hypocritical, but you know, if you're making millions, I guess you're being a success. Can't argue with that. Yep. Speaking of other things that may be correct or not, what do you think about Samoa Joe becoming NXT champion last night?
I do not agree with that decision.
No, not at all.
No, the way they went about it, because they had the feud Balor, 2 retentions. I didn't think that Joe should be the one to dethrone him. They should have had Joe winning it from. I don't really want to use the word transitional champion. Someone else should have won it first. Briefly build him up while you keep building up Joe as more and more of a monster, and then just have Joe kind of like with how.
Well, the thing from what I understand, because I was listening to Wrestling Observer on the way here, they were detailing what happened at the house show itself, and basically Finn Balor had a worked injury, storyline injury in the match, and that's pretty much how Joe won. So at the very least, even though we saw Finn Balor like completely dominate him and take over, there's actually a reason why Samoa Joe managed to win at a house show.
But if you were going to have Samoa Joe beat Balor, why didn't you just do it at TakeOver Dallas?
I believe the reason for that is to spike the live event tickets. Which, when you think of it, at least from a marketing point of view, is a pretty good idea, because now you're telling people these live events, stuff can happen in them.
I might just be biased personally. I don't particularly care for the live events because they're not televised, so I can say pretty high confidence on the front of never going to.
Yeah, you can always pick your poison on that, but at least from a marketing point of view, it's a pretty good move, especially since they're trying to really get that live event touring going.
I just think there could have been some better options. Like, they could have, if Rude's going to come in, they could have built him up, he could have been awesome. They could have built up Aries, heck, Nakamura's getting really popular. Joe did not feel like the right call because he'd already lost twice to Balor. It's like, let's do something else.
Yeah, that's kind of a big detraction to it. I mean, Samoa Joe was literally dominated at the end of the last match. I don't know. I guess we could wait and see, because from what I heard, there's gonna be a third match with a stipulation on it, probably a cage match from what was heard. The first ever NXT cage match. Like, I know it's not the best way, but you know, at least it's something. Yeah, I'm sure after this takeover they'll just move on, and yeah, it does kind of feel old. I mean, it started in December? It was late December when they had their first match. The feud.
Unlike the main roster, they can still salvage it. It'll probably be a good match. But like I said, I just feel like there's so many potentially better options. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that at all. Oh, Samoa Joe. Who knows? He's a good hand to have in the roster. I'm not sure who's going to be champion after him, though, because like, at least if Finn Balor moves on to the main roster, which we're not sure yet if it'll be at Payback or anytime soon, there's not really much left outside of maybe Shinsuke Nakamura, but he's going to be there a short while too, probably. Maybe Austin Aries. Like, that is literally the only option right now, because no one else in NXT is anywhere close to NXT title level, which is, when you think about it, it's kind of crazy to think.
You have to turn somebody face or bring in one of the new guys and see how they work out as a face.
Yeah, because right now, outside of these three guys, who do you have?
Just them. Unless Rude comes in. He could be good.
Or, you know, No Way Jose, which I wouldn't be against.
He'd have to get built up soon.
Oh, you'll definitely get over with that dance. And the music.
If they pull the trigger at the right time, it should be not.
We'll see. Well, at the end or who knows, maybe Hideo Itami will come back. I don't know. Apparently this guy's shoulder was completely detached to the point that they had to super glue it back together or something. It's been out a whole year at this point.
I heard there were downstairs and never came back. I hope it does.
Jeez, that's crazy to think about.
I was a fan of his. He just took the continuity of who it was that attacked him. I want to see him come back. He was cool.
Yeah, and he was on his way too. I mean, he was the one who was supposed to win the title in Japan.
And he could have feuded with Balor, and it would have been amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe that's what they're keeping Balor. He's gonna hit that.
they're waiting for that detached shoulder to just heal already after all this time. But that's all the NXT talk we have going on right now. There's not much else going on. Tag teams, they got to get some new tag teams. Women, I don't know. Asuka's awesome. You know, now that I think about it, I didn't ask you about the entrances. How was the feeling there for those entrances, like Shinsuke Nakamura and all that? The atmosphere for TakeOver?
I can't even describe it. Insert very extreme positive adjective. Just the entrances were cool. The fans were so into it. I've never seen anything like that before.
That's good to hear. WrestleMania 2, I don't know if at least Triple H's entrance and his weird masked suit guys or whatever the heck they were.
There were some cool ones. New Day,
Yes, it's really solid stuff.
Love that women's match.
Yes.
I kind of wish Becky would have won it, but I was going to be happy no matter what. I'm such a big fan of her.
That was a
Forums. Becky deserved the win the most because she didn't get an enhanced entrance while the other two did. Charlotte was champion walking in. She got to be the first women's champion. That was before. Sasha had that awesome
I don't know, because the live singer.
just a large version of the entrance she had. I felt really bad for her.
I think she'll bounce back. I mean, right now they have that thing going on with Emma. If they're still continuing it, because you keep talking about it and show nothing of it. But I think someday she'll get her shot.
She deserves it. She is hands down the best. She's among the best on the mic too.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Becky Lynch and Paige, those two are the best out of everything.
Yep. Let's see what else we can talk about. Like, have you watched any Lucha Underground yet?
No, I've just been too busy with class.
Oh, that's a real pity.
I'm gonna be pretty late to that party, but I do want to get in on that. I'll probably start around Independence Day or so.
Because Season 2 has gotten even more amazing than Season 1 now. We have undead creatures now who have somehow ripped their own hearts out. Still beating these hearts. The best way I could describe this is Mortal Kombat, a fatality. Kano's fatality from the first game, if you remember correctly. I don't know if did you ever play the Mortal Kombat games?
Yes, I did. I played all the old ones. I've got fond memories of the first one and the one on the 64. Armageddon, I think it was.
So just
The
picture
one where everybody came back.
picture Kano's original fatality when he just sticks his hand into your chest, rips out your heart.
Kind of like in Once Upon a Time.
Pretty much. That is exactly what happened on this week's episode of Lucha Underground. Twice over, actually.
I could get behind that kind of show.
One of the disciples of Death rips out the heart of the other two. They're still beating somehow. I'm not sure how that works. Then he just sucks up their magic or something like that.
There's so many good things.
Yeah.
You had me a year ago to talk about the Utopia thing or whatever that was. That sounded interesting.
Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat. At least this week it was Mortal Kombat. You had the two giants. You had Matanza, who was the Lucha Underground champion, and Mil Muertes, who's my boy, Ricky Banderas. They were fighting on top of the office, and they go through the office. Plunge, basically, to into the abyss, not to be seen. And even Rey Mysterio's been great. He had such an awesome match like 2 weeks ago, I think. It was like a trios match, and they were just all over the place flying. It was like something out of Mexico, which is funny because that's where they're from. But you get the point. It's Rey Mysterio is kind of broken.
Is the content from both seasons going to be available all at once?
I believe you could get one season on YouTube, and then you have to pay for the other season. It's not YouTube. iTunes. Not 100% certain on that. But man, yeah, when you watch that, you're going to be blown away because the quality is just amazing on that show. But anyway, I'm not really sure what other news we could talk about here. We just chit chat, just since we're still playing around with this live stream. I don't know. You got anything else from this week that you want to get off your chest, wrestling wise?
Not really wrestling. We're just in downtime right now, building up toward Payback. NXT is going to be building up toward whenever the next takeover is going to be. I don't watch TNA anymore. I never watched Ring of Honor. I haven't watched Lucha Underground yet. I think we've covered pretty much everybody in the wrestling world.
I watch so much wrestling. I think my head is being fried. So much NXT. I watched WWE, both shows. I watched AAA. I watched Lucha Libre Elite, which has to be the most amazing, just the weirdest show I've ever seen in my life. You told me you didn't hear last week's show, so I was telling KB. It's a Mexico show, basically, and they have your usual interviewer. She's Japanese. So she's going around interviewing people in Japanese. People are obviously confused. She completely keeps going on like nothing's wrong. She clearly speaks Spanish, but it's only in Japanese. Just to add to the weirdness of it, whenever she's around, there's like this Godzilla sound effect going around. And I think it was last week I told KB they actually photoshopped Godzilla into one of the shots with her. Gets even weirder this week because she's interviewing, get this, a popcorn salesman. So she's got the popcorn salesman. She's talking to him, like asking him how the popcorn is. He's explaining how the popcorn is, how he makes the popcorn and all that. And then she asks a prize, and then he gives her popcorn. That's an interview on a wrestling show.
Like the guy selling it to fans in attendance?
Exactly. They just pull him apart and start asking him about the popcorn. Like, okay, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You're interviewing a popcorn salesman for a wrestling show.
Is it better than TNA?
It's more entertaining than TNA. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's more fun.
If interviewing the popcorn guy is more entertaining, then that's
Well, it just comes off like a fun show. Because they take the roster from CMLL, which that's a very stuck-up company, and you just tell them, go be free, have fun. And they go out there and they have fun. They literally have fun. You see some of the wrestlers that are normally all stuck up and all that, dancing. Others carrying selfie sticks and all that, just taking pictures of each other. Yeah, this little...
more freedom, just be yourself and go around and do weird. I mean, there's got to be something like that going on with Steve.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had some of that. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I was chatting with a couple of internet friends about wrestling, particularly this whole brand split idea that just has me horrified right now. That's the last thing I want, another brand split. Basically, we saw these pictures of a new WWE Championship that was made. It's like the Winged Eagle belt in platinum with the updated logo on it.
They just made it.
I know. That's the thing. Like, to me, it's just for sale, I believe. But you know, right away, people are just going, "Oh, that's for the brand split." That's no proof that it's coming. And it just, the idea horrifies me. So what I was thinking about for a compromise, let me put on my Booker hat for a minute. just pitch you this idea. Instead of splitting the roster half and half like last time, which was dreadful, take all the lower card guys, put them in a completely different circuit, maybe in just one stationary place, kind of like NXT. But I don't know, just have them apart from the main roster. Put these lower card guys like, I don't know, Damian Sandow, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, all these guys that no one pays attention to, but they can work. Use that as another brand. Kind of like NXT. And now you have like this smaller brand where you can send talent you're not going to use on the main roster. And you have more content for your WWE network.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That could turn into like a Nitro and Thunder situation. People don't want to be on that show.
Well, the thing is, we're trying to recycle these guys that unfortunately are being jobbed out on the main roster or just not used at all. And they have to be relegated.
Help is not having the same matches over and over again. Save the big matches for the pay-per-view. And have guys like Sandow and jobbers, for lack of a better word, for them more. And I don't know, just do stuff that's a little different, so it's fresh. It's getting to the point where even guys like, I don't know, it's hard to think of specific examples, but when I'm sitting there watching Raw, it's hard to fight the urge to fast forward some of the matches, even though I may happen to really like both guys in the match because we just saw it last week. And it was on SmackDown the week before, and we've seen it a billion times.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the point is you can compromise. You don't have to split your roster in half for another dumb brand split. Like, there are ways around that. I don't know, to me it just horrifies me that there's an idea that they want to do it again.
I can kind of see the point behind it. They want to do the other brand, but then what? It just raises so many questions. With SmackDown, we make that the NXT show. What do you do with the developmental thing they got going on for the network? Will that even get hits anymore if NXT becomes an actual brand? I don't need people getting rushed to a title when they're not ready for it. And it could happen down the line, but they shouldn't do it anytime soon.
No, the idea of another Jack Swagger as world champion or Dolph Ziggler horrifies me, really.
I didn't mind Swagger's match.
Like Big Show, Sheamus. Oh my God, Sheamus and Del Rio. Remember that?
Not Big Show.
No Big Show, no Sheamus. Like, I still have nightmares from Sheamus and Del Rio. Just feuding on and on and on and on. Oh my God, no.
I like that feud, but there's very few feuds. Not very many feuds that should go on for more than 2 shows, or even more than one sometimes. You're not going to get those Jericho. You're just not.
No, definitely not. And much less if you're splitting the roster, because, you're splitting your resources at the end of the day. Not a lot of people get that. They also don't remember some of the horrifying stuff in the mid-card.
If they do that, they should have to where half the shows are like a big 6, and there's your dual card, and then you have the remaining shows there's some Raw shows, and there's some whatever the other brand is include, whether that's SmackDown or NXT, that has its own shows, because you had those shows that were Raw and SmackDown exclusive a couple years back. That worked out, but then everything became dual branded, and it lost its luster.
Well, when it was just one brand at the same time, like the mid-card was just horrifying, because it didn't have enough to fill it up, and buy rates just plummeted, which is kind of what contributed to the whole mixing them back up together.
We could use SmackDown as the championships show that they could make back and forth on SmackDown.
Well,
That's better than doing brand split.
You could, but if they couldn't do it when you had a brand split, imagine without one.
Or we get that particular title holder in his feud to be featured more often.
Well,
If anything's better than having it be the same set of guys. Again, using the same guys or different guys or from the same group of guys.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all creative.
I mean, I've missed the past 3 SmackDowns because I've legitimately been busy. I feel like I haven't really missed anything.
Nope, you're not. If anything, you're missing the Vaudevillains, who apparently are exclusive to that show.
They're gonna get that started.
Oh, man.
I hate those guys.
How could you hate them? I love them.
Gotch I can tolerate, but I could never stand it.
Really? You're the one I like the most. What'd you hate about him?
That stupid, retarded, idiotic singing gimmick he had.
Oh, that's so far gone already. He's a Guerrero. You gotta respect.
Not everyone can be Eddie.
Well, of course not. You can always be Hector, which was better. But anyway. Anyway, you know what? I think we've covered it all. And this has been quite the hassle, so I'm going to say we're going to drop it off here. So if you're watching live, I don't know how. Thank you for putting up with this. We're still trying to figure out this whole live stuff. I'm going to try and see if I can just play around with it for a while later. But yeah, as I try to once again log off, and this dumb thing is freezing.
Any cheap plugs for you?
I'm not really in the mood. It's
Come discuss wrestling and all sorts of other stuff at WrestleZone.com. Both on the staff.
Yep, we
I'm
are.
moderator. I moderate everything. And Killjoy is over our EFED and TNA and non-WWE wrestling sections.
Resident Sourpuss. Anyway, guys, we'll chat next time.